Welcome back to my channel. The other day I uploaded a video talking about the players who were invited to Canada's Olympic camp for hockey, and that was going over the men's team. So today I thought that I would do the women's team and give my 2 cents on some of the players who were invited to camp and whether those players will make the team or not. I'm going to talk about 17 out of 30 that were invited. So without further ado, let's get into the goalies first. I'm going to talk about 2 goalies. First, Emerance Mashmeyer, who is a goalie for Vancouver in the PWHL. She was picked up in the signing period, I'm pretty sure, and she was injured last year, so she didn't have as many games. However, she was able to have a 913 save percentage. So if I've said this in the past on my channel, but anything in the 900s or 910s and above is pretty good for a save percentage. And that kind of goes for the second goalie I was going to talk about, Anne Renee Debens. I think I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing that right. If I'm not, let me know down in the comments. She was a goalie for the Montreal Victoire last year, and she had a 932 save percentage last year, and she played 21 games. So Canada's got themselves a good goalie. So from the numbers on both of these girls, I would say that Anne probably gets the nod to start. However, a bunch of things can happen, and it's only a camp, so you don't want to put too much value in right now. However, as the season progresses, we'll see what happens. Next, let's go into the defense. First, Claire Thompson, who is part of Vancouver's team. She was a part of the Minnesota Frost last year, and she put up 18 points in 30 games as a defenseman, which is good. I don't think that there's much to say after that. Then we have Erin Ambrose, who played for the Montreal Victoire, who, even though she had 13 points, and those 13 points were all assists, she's a good veteran player. She's a good stay-at-home defenseman, in my opinion, at least from what I've been able to see from her. Next is Renata Fast, who in 30 games had 22 points as a defenseman. That's pretty good for the amount of, I wouldn't say playing time or anything like that, but just defensemen aren't known for their scoring output. Then Sophie Jacques, who is also a defenseman for the Vancouver team. She had 22 points in 25 games last year. So, regardless of how you look at it, this list of players is the best of the best. And so with that, it's just it's not like these girls are bottom feeders on any sort on their PWHL teams. So I like all these defensemen. And the last defenseman I am going to mention is Chloe Premiano. I think I'm pronouncing that right. She's my age. She is an 07. She played for the University of Minnesota last year, and she had 31 points in 35 games. As a defenseman in college, as a freshman, she's pretty dang good. So, another question that's going to come up with this Canada team is if they go in a younger direction or if they stay with the veteran players that they do have. Obviously, there's going to be some veteran players where you're like, you can't take them off the team, or else, like, they would be crazy too. But just one thing to keep in mind as we go through this upcoming season in the PWHL and everything like that, that some of these national teams will be looking towards the future and giving future players an opportunity instead of just sticking with the status quo. So that's all the defensemen I'm going to highlight. Now we go on to the forwards. Laura Stacey, who played for Montreal last year, she had 22 points in 27 games. There's a lot of 22-point girls in this team. So she was pretty good for Montreal. She was a top liner. She played with Marie-Philippe Poulin, who she's also married to. And yeah, this is just a good team. And sometimes when the men are not doing so great for Canada, I look at the females, I'm like, they got us. So next is Sarah Fiddler, who was the first overall pick in the 2024 PWHL draft, so the first draft after the expansion draft. Or not even the expansion draft, more so like we gotta cement people in this league. So yeah, she was playing for the New York Sirens last season, and as I mentioned earlier, just a younger player coming into the fold, so we will see what she can do at camp and at like the camp right before the Olympics, so we'll be looking to see what she does. And then we have the more notables, Sarah Nurse and Natalie Spooner and Emma Maltez and Blair Turnbull, a lot of Toronto Scepter players. Sarah Nurse is now a Vancouver player, but still Toronto is very well represented. And also Hannah Miller, who it is still up in the air of if she's gonna be able to play for Canada, because she played for China last Olympics, and even though she was born in North Vancouver, I'm pretty sure she was born in, she will still be waiting for the IIHF's approval on if she can play for Canada or not. I have a feeling she will not be able to, just because she has history of playing with the China team, so we will see what happens for that. Then Emily Clark, who is the captain, I do believe, for the Ottawa Charge. She had 9 goals and 10 assists, good for 19 points in 30 games played last season. So once again, more scoring and more talent for this Canadian team. Lastly, Jennifer Gardner, who is a Surrey native and playing for her hometown in Vancouver this upcoming season, which is a storyline I'm going to be following quite closely. She had 5 goals, 13 assists for 18 points in 30 games last year with the Victoire. So good for her to get on the team and being able to have a shot. I think she's been on the Olympic team before, and I think she's been with Canada a little bit. There's a lot of like the differences between the females and males for the hockey side of the Olympics is definitely different. With the males, there's a whole lot more changing of faces and changing of people on the team. Yeah, that's what changing faces is. But for the female side, it's a whole lot more. There's not a lot of change that happens, and it's a little bit more predictable for who's going to be on the roster or not. But with the PWHL coming about and more players being able to play the sport that they love full time, I think it's only good for the growth of the game, and it's good for us fans to have more hockey to watch. So that's gonna be all of the players I touch on and all of my thoughts. Let me know what you think about Canada's female hockey team down in the comments. Like the video and subscribe because I like to do these kind of things. And yeah, let me know your thoughts, and I will see you in the next one.